which translates to the land of the gods. Do you see how much the Somalis impressed the pharaohs? The same people who built the Sphinx and the pyramids, the same people who thought they were gods. You know, Pharaoh, they all thought they were gods. But when Pharaoh Hatshepsut came to the Somali territories, she said, no, this is the land of Punt. This is the land of the gods. So this is how the pharaohs documented us. But today, the media documents us differently. We're not students. We're not small business owners. We're either pirates or suicide bombers. Right? That's the two choices. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one are you, a pirate or a suicide bomber? Now I have a rhetorical question for everybody in the audience. If Jewish people were to gather, do you think the media would depict their gathering as a gathering of hoodlums or gangsters? If Christians were to gather, do you think the media would depict it as a gathering of drug dealers? Let's see how the media depicts a gathering of Somali Muslims. Suicide bomber meeting. The audacity. Fox News came when Abu Bakr was having an open house on February 10th, 2009, and they reported live. And this was the report right here, suicide bomber meeting. Now, it's a joke, right? But it's funny to us because we know better, because we're Somalis. But if you're not Somali, you won't know better. If you are not Somali and you see this, you would think, oh, maybe Fox News said there's suicide bombers gathering over here. They must be. Now, I want to say I can attest that Abu Bakr Masjid is doing more than any local police department to reduce crime in the Somali community. I can attest that Abu Bakr Masjid is doing more than any nonprofit, including my own nonprofit, to clean up the Somali community. Men who I saw selling drugs are now working at legitimate jobs because of this institution. Men who roam the streets, men who roam the streets, thieving and shooting and committing all type of crime and in this gang culture, they're now enrolled in school because of this institution. You see, Abu Bakr Masjid is producing great American citizens who work, who go to school, who pay taxes, who live decently. So there is ample evidence that they, Abu Bakr Masjid, are producing good citizens, but there is no evidence, and I repeat, no evidence that they are producing terrorists. So these false accusations must cease. We demand it. The discrimination, it must cease. We demand it. Now, I know the media is here. I don't know where Star Tribune is, but this is what they published, and I'm going to read it. It says, this is just a piece of it. It says, for it is not fair, if not obligatory, for Minnesotans to ask questions and have concerns when a 15-year span, upwards of 100,000 third-world Somalis have been simply dropped on our doorstep by the stalk of the U.S. Department that considered Minnesota, and more importantly, its generous social service, a good fit for the refugees, especially when taxpayers are footing the bill. And I have a question for Star Tribune and the person who actually wrote this. Do not the Somalis pay taxes? Every time we buy a piece of candy, don't we pay sales tax? Every time we get a paycheck, don't they take income tax out of our check? Have we not changed the socio-economic landscape of Minnesota? Huh? And then the audacity of them to put this in their newspaper. Now, you see, this bigotry was published on April 25th, 2009. Now, editorial boards have the authority to print or deny commentaries all the time, particularly racist, untrue, or irrelevant material. See, people often send these things to the media, and it doesn't advance the discourse on a given topic. It merely perpetuates hate. And the burden is on the gatekeepers, the people who choose what to publish and what not to publish, to mediate such conflicts. And you see, this piece in question reeks of hate, and it should have never been published. But the Star Tribune, as it's doing recently, it's failing to exercise responsible and fair judgment. And we demand more from the editorial boards and the content editors of all the media outlets who are denigrating the Somali community. With the exception of NPR, most of these media outlets have been reckless with the Somali community or their coverage of the Somali community. They're taking advantage of their role as gatekeepers. And they're no longer honoring truth or practicing responsible reporting. And you can see these testimonies are a fact. Several months ago, KSTP reported that there were, and I quote, active Al-Qaeda cells in Minneapolis, and that 40 young men have left the Twin Cities to fight jihad. Now, they failed to confirm this, but they did publish it, but they failed to confirm this. And months later, we learned from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, that there are no, and I repeat, no Al-Qaeda cells in Minneapolis, and the number of men who left were merely in the tens. So this fear-mongering and careless behavior is making our neighbors suspicious of us. We laugh when we see these things because we know better, but our neighbors don't know, and they're becoming suspicious of us. And it's causing a lot of anxieties to the Somalis. It's creating a hostile environment for Somalis and is instilling fear in the non-Somalis. Another one. March 22nd, the Star Tribune printed a sensational story on an alleged fighter who recently returned from the Somali Republic. And they only printed the first name, and essentially they had no story. And in my experience with the news, I have never seen a rumor end up on the front page of a major daily. But apparently, any rumor negatively impacting the Somali American community, it gets a free pass. And that must cease. And why is that? Is it because we're a new community to America? They believe they could get away with it because we don't know the system too well. Is it because they think that we won't react or we won't defend ourselves? I don't know, but as you can see, many Somalis, they have gathered here today to protect the honor and the integrity of the Somali community. Now, it seems as if the media has an agenda to incite hate crimes against us. I said it. It seems like they have an agenda to incite hate crimes against us. See, if the media it seems like the media is trying to pit the non-Somali Americans against the Somali Americans. But as you can see, many of our American brothers and sisters have came here today to protect the honor and the integrity of the Somali community. And just a quick note to all the Somali organizations in attendance. There's many organizations gathered here today to, I'm almost done, don't worry. See, many of the Somali organizations have gathered here today, and I just, quick note to all my brothers and sisters, I have two words for you: civil lawsuit. And seriously, think about it. The media is publishing false information as if it's fact. And they're inciting hate crimes. Sooner or later, there's going to be vicious attacks against us on the street, hate crimes, because of these publications. So I repeat, civil lawsuit. Think about it. We should all get together and fight. Now, to the Star Tribune, you have dedicated many of your newspapers' front page to slander the Somali community. And you've dedicated a lot of your Sunday papers. The Sunday paper is the most important paper. It gets the most distribution. Many of the Sunday's front page was dedicated to slander the Somali community. And we ask you to take responsibility as a respectable and professional news outlet. Matter of fact, we ask that tomorrow's paper, yes, tomorrow's paper, publish a front page apology to the Somali American community for the misrepresentation. And I would like to conclude, I'm done, I would like to conclude with a testimony, a testament of solidarity to my fellow Somalis. I, a man, Hussein Dahir Obsia, declare to be a citizen of the people. I declare to be a citizen of the people. And as a citizen of the people, I know that we don't speak Af Hawiya, and I know we don't speak Af Darod, we speak Af Somali. Therefore, we are there, Somali, first and foremost. And as brothers and sisters, we must unite. As you can see, we're under attack, and I leave with this. You know we're under attack, but with struggle comes victory. With struggle comes victory. And to my fellow Somalis who have struggled enough, it is time for victory. Assalamu alaikum.